Did you know that your hugging style can reveal your personality traits? It's true! Just like our words, our body language speaks volumes, and hugs are no exception. Some people are all about that full-body hug, you know the ones, where you practically become one person for a few glorious seconds. And then there are those who prefer a quick side hug, in and out, no muss, no fuss. But what do these hugs really say about us? Well, get ready to dive into the wonderful world of hugs, because today, we're uncovering the secrets behind 6 common hugging styles and what they actually mean. We'll explore the heartwarming bear hug, the friendly side hug, the sometimes awkward one-armed hug, the protective back hug, the intimate heart-to-heart hug, and the good old pat-on-the-back hug. Who knew there were so many ways to hug? By understanding these different types of hugs, you'll gain fascinating insights into yourself and the people you care about. You might even learn a thing or two about your partner, your best friend, maybe even your mother-in-law. So grab your favorite fuzzy blanket and a cup of something warm, and let's get cozy.
Okay, let's start with a classic the bear hug. You know the one, it's warm, it's fuzzy, it's like being enveloped in a giant, loving cloud. This is the kind of hug that makes you forget your worries, your to-do list, even that embarrassing moment you had at the grocery store earlier. We've all been there, right? The bear hug is all about genuine affection and a strong emotional connection. When someone gives you a bear hug, they're not afraid to let their guard down and show you how much they care. They're saying, I'm here for you, I'm happy to see you, and I'm not letting go anytime soon. And let's be honest, there's just something so incredibly comforting about a good bear hug. It's like a warm bath for your soul. A slice of apple pie on a rainy day, a puppy licking your face. You get the idea. But here's the thing about bear hugs. They're not just about physical warmth, they're about emotional support too. When you're feeling down, stressed out, or just need a little pick-me-up, a bear hug can be the perfect antidote. It's a silent way of saying, I'm here for you, no matter what. So the next time you need a little extra love, give someone a bear hug. And if you're lucky enough to be on the receiving end of one, just relax and soak it all in. Trust me, your heart will thank you.
Next up, we have the ever-so-casual side hug. Now, the side hug is a bit of a chameleon in the hug world. It can be friendly, it can be polite, and it can even be a little bit flirty depending on the context. But one thing's for sure, it's definitely not as intensely emotional as the bear hug. Think of the side hug as the cool kid of the hug family. It's not trying too hard, it's not overthinking things, it's just going with the flow. You'll often see side hugs exchanged between friends, acquaintances, or even colleagues. Now, don't mistake the side hug's laid-back nature for a lack of caring. It's just a different way of expressing closeness. It's a way of acknowledging someone's presence and showing them a little bit of warmth without getting too up close and personal. You know that friend who always greets you with a quick side hug and a, hey, how's it going? That's the essence of the side hug. Casual, friendly, and always appreciated. And the beauty of the side hug is its versatility. You can give a side hug while walking, while talking, even while standing in line at the grocery store. Though maybe save the bear hugs for your bestie, not the cashier. It's a hug that fits seamlessly into everyday life. So the next time you want to greet someone with a little bit of warmth, but don't necessarily want to go in for a full-on bear hug, the side hug is your go-to move. It's casual, it's friendly, and it's always a safe bet.
The one-armed hug. This is the hug that often leaves people wondering, was that a hug? Or were they just reaching for something behind me? Don't worry, we've all been there. The one-armed hug is like the awkward middle child of the hug family. It's not quite a full hug, but it's not quite a handshake either. So, what's the deal with the one-armed hug? Well, it can mean a few different things. Sometimes it's a way of maintaining a bit of physical distance while still acknowledging someone. You know, like when you're in a crowded elevator and you don't want to accidentally hug the person next to you. Other times, the one-armed hug can be a sign of hesitancy or uncertainty. Maybe you're not quite sure how the other person feels about hugging, so you go for the one-armed hug as a way of testing the waters. It's like dipping your toe in the pool before jumping in head first. Now, I'm not saying that all one-armed hugs are awkward or hesitant. Sometimes they can be perfectly natural and even affectionate. It really all depends on the context and the relationship between the two people involved. But I think we can all agree that the one-armed hug is definitely a bit of a mystery. It's the hug that keeps us guessing. The hug that makes us go, and then immediately try to dissect its meaning. But hey, that's part of what makes hugs so fascinating, right? They're like little puzzles that we get to solve.
Get ready for a surprise because here comes the back hug. This is the hug that sneaks up on you when you least expect it and leaves you feeling all warm and fuzzy inside. You know the feeling. You're washing dishes, you're reading a book, you're just minding your own business. And then bam! Someone comes up behind you and wraps you in a big cozy hug. The back hug is all about surprise, intimacy, and a deep sense of trust. It's a way of showing someone you care without even having to say a word. And let's be honest, there's something incredibly romantic and playful about a well-timed back hug. It's like something out of a movie montage. But the back hug isn't just for romantic partners. It's also a great way to show affection to close friends and family members. It's a way of saying, I've got your back, literally and figuratively. Now I know some people can be a little startled by back hugs, especially if they're not expecting it. So, if you're thinking about surprising someone with a back hug, maybe give them a little heads up first, just a, hey, I'm coming in for a hug. But once you've mastered the art of the back hug, it can be a truly magical experience. It's a way of connecting with someone on a deeper level, a way of saying, I see you, I care about you, and I'm here for you.
Okay, time to get real, folks, because we're talking about the heart-to-heart hug. This is the hug that transcends words, the hug that speaks volumes with a single embrace. You know the one. It's the hug you share with your best friend after a good cry, the hug you give your parents when you haven't seen them in months, the hug you share with your partner after a long, hard day. The heart-to-heart hug is all about deep emotional connection, vulnerability, and unconditional love. It's the kind of hug that makes you feel seen, heard, and understood on a soul level. When you're wrapped up in a heart-to-heart hug, it's like the rest of the world fades away and it's just you and that other person sharing a moment of pure, unadulterated connection. Now, the heart-to-heart hug isn't something you just give to anyone. It's reserved for those special people in your life who you trust implicitly, who you know will hold space for you no matter what. And here's the thing about the heart-to-heart hug, it's not always pretty. There might be tears, there might be sniffles, there might even be snot involved. Hey, it happens to the best of us. But that's okay, because in that moment of raw vulnerability, you're creating a bond that's unbreakable. So the next time you're feeling down, heartbroken, or just need a little extra love, reach out to one of your people and give them a heart-to-heart hug. Trust me, your soul will thank you.
And last but not least, we have the pat on the back hug, the hug that says, I'm happy for you, but I also need to get going. Now, before you go thinking the pat on the back hug is cold or impersonal, hear me out. The pat on the back hug definitely has its place in the hug hierarchy. It's the hug you give your boss after a successful presentation, the hug you share with your neighbor after their kid graduates, the hug you give your great aunt, who you only see at weddings and funerals. It's a way of showing warmth, congratulations, or even just acknowledging someone's presence without getting too up close and personal. Think of it as the business casual of hugs. It's appropriate for most occasions and it gets the job done. Now, I'll admit, the pat on the back hug isn't exactly the most emotionally charged hug in the world. But that doesn't mean it's not meaningful. Sometimes a simple pat on the back can speak volumes, especially when it's accompanied by a genuine smile and a heartfelt congratulations, or I'm so happy for you. So the next time you're not quite sure what kind of hug the situation calls for, the pat on the back hug is always a safe bet. It's polite, it's respectful, and it gets the message across without making things awkward. And hey, sometimes that's all you need.
Well, there you have it, folks. The ins and outs of 6 common hugging styles. From the bear hug to the pat on the back hug, we've covered it all. And who knew there was so much to learn about a simple hug? But here's the thing. Understanding hugging styles isn't just about decoding body language. It's about deepening your connections with the people you care about. It's about being more mindful of the way you give and receive hugs and understanding the unspoken messages they convey. So the next time you go in for a hug, take a moment to notice the other person's body language. What kind of hug are they giving you? And what kind of hug are you giving them? You might be surprised at what you discover.